So there's been a lot of talk this week surrounding the rumored PS4.5 and PS4K, as some outlets have called it. Phil Spencer says that Microsoft isn't interested in a point 0.5 of anything concerning Microsoft, and suggests that whenever they do make a move, it just won't be an incremental move, but will instead be something major where you can see big changes and improvements, which kind of seems to be a slight towards the rumors that PS4.5 upgrade isn't going to be that huge of an upgrade. So I wanted to put this video out there because there's a lot of outlets, and I'm really surprised at it, who are running with the story that Phil is backing away from this idea that he wants to upgrade Xbox or come out with something bigger and better, because a lot of people are just running with the headlines that Game Informer ran with, which is that they said, "I'm not a big fan of Xbox One and a half," says Xbox Boss. So he did say that comment, but people just read the title and think that they've got the whole story, but they didn't actually read what was in it. So his whole quote says a whole lot more. So what I'm going to do is to make this really easy. It's almost like drawing a picture for you. I'm going to start with the beginning and take you through the timeline. So I'm going to show you his first quotes, and then we'll get to what he just said about this Xbox and a half. So a few weeks ago during the Xbox Spring Showcase event, Phil said, quote, "We see on other platforms, whether it be mobile or PC, that you get a continuous innovation that you rarely see on console. Consoles lock the hardware and the software platforms together at the beginning of the generation, then you ride out the generation for 7 or so years, while other ecosystems are getting better, faster, and stronger, and then you wait for the next big function. When you look at the console space, I believe we will see more hardware innovation in the console space than we've ever seen before. You'll actually see us come out with new hardware capability during a generation, allowing the same games to run backwards and forwards compatible, because we have a Universal Windows application running on top of the Universal Windows platform that allows us to focus more and more on hardware innovation without invalidating the games that run on that platform. We can effectively feel a little bit more like we see on PC, where I can still go back and run my old Doom and Quake games that I used to play years ago, but I can still see the best 4K games come out, and my library is always with me. Hardware innovation continues while the software innovation is able to take advantage, and I don't have to jump a generation and lose everything that I played on before." So that was the original statement. That's kind of like what lit the match, what got all this discussion going about upgrades. And then Sony rumors started circulating where there's this apparent 4.5 or PS4K in the works, which I've made several videos on. So if you want to get the full details of that, go back and watch those. But to make a long story short for you, the rumors point to somewhat of an incremental update where games may in fact run a little bit better, but it's not a huge leap. That's why it's not called PS5, not PS6 or whatever. It's called PS4.5. That's what kind of the media who knows about this has labeled it, because they said it's just an incremental upgrade. Fast forward to today, and again, all the headlines make it sound as if Phil is backing away from this, and he thinks that this idea is horrible to upgrade your systems. Because again, they ran with the statement, "I'm not a big fan of Xbox One and a half." But here's what he actually said. Here's the full quote. "I'm not a big fan of Xbox One and a half. If we're going to move forward, I want to move forward in big numbers. I don't know anything about any of the rumors that are out there, but I can understand other teams' motivations to do that." He understands why Sony would be interested in upgrading their system. "For us, our box is doing well. It performs, it's reliable, the servers are doing well. If we're going to go forward with anything, like I said, I want it to be a really substantial change for people, an upgrade." So, yes, he's not in favor of Xbox 0.5. He's not interested in a small incremental increase. He's saying if you're going to go big or go home. He says there should be major changes, a real upgrade if they're going to do it, which is a far cry from a lot of these places going around with this story that Phil is, against updating anything. It doesn't change his original statements where he says, quote, "You'll actually see us come out with new hardware capability during a generation, allowing the games to run backward and forward compatible. We've got a platform that allows us to focus more and more on hardware innovation without invalidating the games that run on the platform." So we can debate this whether it's good or not, but I did want to put that out there because, like I said, ton of misinformation floating around. He says he doesn't want people opening up the Xbox. He doesn't want to stick a screwdriver inside every box that's for sale where you're opening it up and upgrading components. And like I've told you before, there's a lot of different options that they have. There's a lot of companies now who are pushing out the ability to plug in through a USB an external GPU. So for instance, you could take an old crappy laptop and turn it into a gaming rig because now you can hook up external GPU. So they could go that route. They could also just come out with a standalone system, like a brand new system. But either way, his original statement almost sounded as if he wanted you to be able to upgrade your system. So we'll just have to wait and see if anything happens, but at least now you've got the full story, you've got the full quotes, and it's a far cry from Phil Spencer doesn't want to upgrade Xbox. He doesn't think that that's a good idea. So anyway, just wanted to put that out there. As always, if you want the full news, stay tuned to videogamesandnews.com for the latest developments. That does it for me, the Red Dragon. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Are you listening? Damn.